Financial Fashion Network is a media company and brand that promotes financial awareness, personal development, and mental health. And we have created platforms like We Invest Different Podcasts that you're listening to right now. And we also have created a platform for our mental health community called MH10 Movement. If you support all that we do, you can go over to www.fnfstore.com where you can find our apparel. You can support the brand that way. Also, you can share the show, share with people, and tell them how great the conversations are. We appreciate all the support. Now let's get into the show. You are now tuned in to We Invest Different Podcasts, where we have high-level conversations. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
Let's tap in. On conversation number 54, we discussed how having self-respect is really how you receive respect. Because most people say if you give off respect, then you receive respect. But the way you receive respect, first and foremost, is having self-respect. Because that allows you to be able to give off that quality respect to other people. Tap in. Welcome to another episode conversation of We Invest Different Podcasts. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
And I'm grateful to be back. It's another day that I've never seen. Blessed. Put that out there, put that great energy out there. How you doing, King Victor?
Doing pretty good, man. Productive. How about you, man?
Same here. Another episode, another conversation. We didn't even discuss a topic, but we always understand that we can just find anything to find value out of. So it's not hard to have a great conversation. But with that being said, how your week been? Is it anything new?
No, not really. What you mean?
Alright. Okay, cool. Well, shoot, man. I'm checking my notes and looking at some possible topics. But before that, is it anything on your mind?
No, not really.
Okay, well, this is something that I think this would be good that we can talk about. I thought about this a couple weeks ago, and I wrote it down because I knew I'd probably forget. So it's good that it came up now. I thought about how we have this cliche saying in the melanated community, you give respect to get respect. But then I started thinking about that, and what came to mind was like, nah, I feel like self-respect gets you respect. Because most of the time we think, okay, like you got to give off respect, and maybe that's true, but self-respect is really the thing that allows you to respect other people. Because like, man, I was like thinking like at work, at money laundering, like I'm noticing, being around different people, how your energy affects, the room. You can see the effects of your energy. And when you have the energy of love, and when you have the energy of self-confidence and self-love, you start to give that off. And the more I do that at work, like I feel that like I don't really have to ask for respect. Like it automatically happens. Like people give me my space, people respect my space. People just give that. I can just tell that there's a certain level of respect. Like, and I'm not saying like they treat me like a president or nothing like that, but I'm just saying that I know the difference between respect and disrespect. I understand the energy. It's a different energy, and I just feel love and peace from people because I find that I'm giving that off more because I made it a personal goal to focus my energy on those things, like so I can give that off more.
Yeah, right.
So what you think about that? Like self-respect leads to, you know, you being able to give off self-respect, you being able to give off respect, period. And the effects of that, like what you think about that? Like, is there a connection?
Yeah, I think it makes sense, man. Cause when you say that, it made me think about like folks be knowing who to try, like especially on jobs. You know what I'm saying? Cause like when it come to like supervisors and managers, like I noticed that some like to handle some one way, and they'll handle other people another type of way. Cause they, you know, they feel like they can get away with it. But that person that come in, like, yeah, I you know, they just have it in their spirit. They like, they ain't going for that. You know, you typically find them not getting tried, but the person that ain't so much like that, you know, kind of like a pushover, they gonna try it every time.
Right.
So it makes sense to me for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a shift in attitude, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
and that can come to relationships too. It's like, you know, we in control how we allow folks to, you know, handle us in any kind of relationship, not just like romantic, but just, you know, with peers, all of them. You know, how we feel about ourselves, how we view ourselves, you know, most people gonna act accordingly.
That's a fact. Even like, yeah, that's true, bro. Like, you teach people how to treat you, like, for sure. Because like, that's just like, sometimes a person can be naive, a person can be green, and you're not really paying attention, you know, to other people. But you know, shoot, some stuff will be getting done to you and you don't even realize it.
That real talk. That real talk.
That happened to me a lot because, like, my mindset is different. I don't really look for negativity, and like, I remember a few times, like early on, when I used to work at Firehouse Sub, like years and years ago. It used to be this shift manager that used to get me to do some of his work, but at first, like, it was because I was trying to train to become a shift leader myself. And like, I was just doing the work, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was just doing the work, but then I started realizing he started getting me to do his work. And then I was like, man, hold on, man. And I started telling him like, nah, bro, you got it.
I'm telling you, they'll keep trying it, bro.
Exactly. And then the more you let them do that, you know what I'm saying, the more they're gonna do it. They're gonna keep pushing. And shit, after I figured out what was going on, and, you know, told him he could do that shit himself, it ain't never go again. So, but all I'm saying is that, you know, yeah, it sometimes, you know, you don't be paying attention because of, like, you just respect yourself, and you don't be thinking that other people, you know, you be thinking that other people got self-respect too. But a lot of the times, you know, other people don't match your energy. They try to take advantage of your energy.
Take that kindness for weakness. That's the thing, man. And I think that's one of them things that's outside of like respect. You know what I mean? It's like, because a person can have a whole lot of self-respect and a genuine heart, but it could be other people that try to take advantage of that. But that's one thing, man. You mess with them people with them good hearts, boy. You in for it once they, you know, they peak game, and you keep pressing it. It can get real ugly, bro. One thing I noticed, bro, people that's real nice, like they can be just as mean. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah. But you talking about me?
Talk about myself too, bro.
For real.
For real.
Like, we got a positive attitude. So it's like, when it gets to the point where you be tried, it's like, how can you? Like, how dare you?
Real talk.
Like, man, I ain't done that to you. I've been positive this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But shoot, bro.
Sound like you sleepy over there, man.
I mean, I'm just really just drinking on this smoothie for real. It's so good.
Right, what you got in?
Well, I put like some mango in it. I got this little thing, like I didn't stop and get no hot coffee. So sometimes I sprinkle a little coffee in my smoothie.
Hey,
And,
well, you a coffee addict, boy.
hey, but coffee. Hey, yeah, true that. I ain't stopping because I had Micah, so I couldn't stop and give me no hot coffee.
I guess.
Get him out the seat for no reason or whatever. So I just put a little bit in my smoothie. Excuse me.
So you just got mango in it, mango and coffee?
I got some mango in it. I put a date. I put a teaspoon of peanut butter, a sprinkle of coffee, and some plant-based creamer. Like probably like a small, like a little bit, not a lot at all, just a little bit of plant-based creamer. I had some almond plant-based creamer.
That sounds pretty good. I need to get back into them smoothie myself.
Delicious.
But one thing, like I've been buying a whole lot more fruit lately, bro.
Oh yeah.
And bro, I bought some oranges and some apples. You feel me? Because I've been looking into that Dr. Sebi alkaline stuff. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I've been eating an orange every morning when I walk my dog. But bro, I'm noticing, bro, like it ain't no seeds in the oranges, bro, or the apples.
See what I'm saying? Oh, well, I don't buy them no more. If it ain't coming from the farmer's market, I don't usually eat. I don't buy apples and oranges from the grocery store no more, bro. And I haven't for a long time. Like, the only fruit that I really buy from the grocery store is like pineapples. I even stopped buying cantaloupes and shit.
That's what I've been looking for. I ain't even seen them in the store.
I'm saying, like, we got to start going to the farmer's market, bro, because at least we know them fruits coming from like Mexico and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them places, they don't, it's coming straight from the farm. Like it's not going through, like factories, a lot of factories or whatever. It's missing a lot of that. It's going straight to the farmer's market. So it's like when you go to the grocery store, you got more of a chance of like getting more let me see, like factory fruits, but like you could tell by the number that's on the sticker. I forgot what you call them, like the barcodes on the stickers or whatever. I forgot exactly what the name of them is, but you can tell by the numbers on the fruit where it come from. And like I think the number 9, if the number 9 is on that in the beginning of that number, it means it's organic. If it's a 4, that means it was traditionally grown. Like, cause there's a difference between traditionally grown and organically grown.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I learned too when you're looking at the fruit in the grocery store. You look at the numbers. If it's a 4 in the front, then that means it's traditionally grown. That means it's probably got, it's probably, went through a process or whatever. Or organic, is like, yeah, like we don't grew this and it hasn't been chemicalized, or it's less chemicalized.
And that's for any kind of fruit?
Yeah, that's pretty much any kind of fruit, bro.
I gotta pay attention to that.
But the farmer's market, like I said, the farmer's market is really the best place to get fruit. That's why it's called the farmer's market.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that, cause boy, that junk be tripping me out, and it just made me kind of think about something Uncle had put me on to a while ago, cause it was like this big old court case. I think I mentioned it before, but it was like this big old court case where some guy was getting sued for using seeds, bro, for having seeds.
Yeah, I think I know that shit, bro. Like you have to use. They be trying to make you use GMO seeds. Like some seeds are illegal, and that's crazy, right?
That's crazy as hell, dog.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you really gotta have your, contacts. It's really about who you know because it's all about control, man. Like it's all about control. You know how if you let them feed you, you allow them to starve you. So it's like that's why they controlling the shelves like that. Like it's really not a such thing as a famine. Like they made it to where they can control the famine. So I even talked about this with Chels, like baby formula. They understood that if they start feeding the parents GMO, they start feeding GMO to the people, um, it's going to weaken the amount of breast milk being produced in the women.
Mm.
Like not everybody. Now some women, man, their body's just strong enough to produce it no matter what they eat. But for the mass majority, it's going to affect milk production, which is the reason why formula is being on the shelves and being sold. But the whole goal for formula to be sold is for them to be addicted to the formula instead of the breast milk that comes from the parents because that's natural milk. And so the food war is really about depopulation and controlling the food supply. So it's like that's why they feed you GMO, so your body can actually heal and grow the way it needs to go. So now they take the real seeds from the farmers. So now everything you're eating is GMO on top of the snacks, on top of all of this stuff that's producing cancer. So then it's like it's forming a connection to big pharma because it's all gonna connect. It's all this ecosystem. Like the food is gonna make you sick, and then the medicine is gonna make you sicker. So it's just all in connection to control, bro. It's all connection to control. It's all money. It's like it's because like buying Mica milk, I can see that sometimes, bro, you can't find it nowhere, and you gotta like go to stores outside of your radius of where you stay to even find milk. And it's like, see, this is why they doing that. It's like ain't no such thing as like a milk shortage, bro. But they telling everybody it's a milk shortage because it's all about control and fear. It's just like taking away EBT. Like if they take away EBT, bro, it'll be an uproar. So it's like if you let them feed you, you give them permission to starve you. So it's all about It's also about developing independency, like for real, and as much as you can. And like as far as being farmers, you gotta manage the network, like and be selective on who you talking to, and like that's why I presented that idea to you, and we're not gonna say it on the podcast, but that's why I wanted to tell you about that idea, and I'm serious about that. It's like it definitely it's something that won't be public, and it's something that we can actually maintain anonymity because of what we're doing it through. So, and I think that's very important because of today's world. It's about control. So if you can do something in private, do it. Like, 'cause that's very important. Like independency and doing things privately and on your own is very important, man. Because the way things are now, people money hungry, people understand the way the world is going, and people trying to attach themselves because the government is creating a dog eat dog society because it's capitalism. So you have to cap off of somebody's ignorance, or you just have to deceive somebody. That's what it's turning into. Either you're gonna have to just cap off of somebody, or just straight up deceive them, because it's all about power and money.
Real talk. And I was talking to a homie yesterday, and we was speaking along these same lines, and how it's so, how the best thing to do would be to remove ourselves from that system. But we was like diving into what would that look like? What would that require? So I want to ask you what you think that would look like.
We gotta shut up, man. Like that's exactly what it looks like, which is why I ain't even say our idea on live.
Right.
Like, we have to learn that we don't have to gloat about everything. We don't have to pop our shit on Instagram about everything. Some things we have to really strategize about. We have to really see, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with me saying this right here, you know what I'm saying? This is really a conversation that we should be having, like, in a room, shut off, with a few masterminds in it.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to start actually being a solution-based society. And that solution-based society should be, you know, members within the community that actually have something to do, that they can act upon collectively. And I think it'll be more things to get done if we get, like, people that got ideas. We all get in one room and we brain shine, and we put things together, and we don't put it on Instagram, but we put our unity. We show that we unified on Instagram. We post content showing that we're working together, but not what we're actually doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be in
Mhm.
a strategy to where they don't really, like, people don't really know what we're doing until you get into the community. And we have to not talk about it until, like, only to those in the community. That's why I said we got to form community through, you know, anonymity. We got to start doing that. We got to stop using our name for everything. Like, we got to really get to the point where we kind of start being invisible, bro. Like, we gotta start being invisible and be real strategic, because we gotta play the matrix, bro. I'm learning that the way to maintain is to play the matrix while also building outside of the matrix. So I think that's what we got to get better doing as well. Like, you got to play the game, but you got to also know how to unplug and maneuver and pivot, just maneuver through this thing, because the matrix is not going anywhere, and they're going to make sure that the matrix maintains because of the population. So it's like, we have to be aware, and we got to do our job, as far as our community. And like you said, my picture that, first off, we got to learn how to be quiet, set goals and be quiet and actually work on them, and only tell people in the community that's building with you. Like, don't be going on Instagram talking about this, because Instagram and other social media platforms can also be one of the things that work against you.
Well, see, that's one of the tough things though, because it's like at this point, it's almost like your business ain't a business if it doesn't have, an online presence at this point. So it's like that's kind of, I can imagine that being pretty difficult,
Well,
whether it be a business or a movement. You know what I'm saying? Because that social media kind of give it traction. But go ahead, my bad.
but nah, I mean, you still building online. You just not selling everybody. You're not saying everything online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you building your platform. You using Instagram as like a bridge, but you got your own platform. So that's the goal for us as well. Like, we building our own platforms, we building our own network, we building our own community. So, like, when we do post content on Instagram, we can connect with people on social media, but then plug them into our community outside of social media. So
Right.
it's like you're posting enough content to bring people in, but you're not posting, the plans of what, like your ultimate plans. Like, like you're not letting people in on the community, what the community knows. What the community knows is what the community is for the community. But for the Instagram and for the social media platforms, you also putting out certain content to just attract people. You're not putting out the content though. You're not putting out the same content. It's
Right.
different content that you're putting out, and just like how I got the mental health community. Now I know like we still building or whatnot, but the people inside of the community get different access from people outside the community. So it's like the people outside the community won't even know about certain shit that the inside community know about. So it's like, okay, like if we having a mansion party, if we having a MH10 mansion party, like I can possibly make that only for my community and won't nobody on the outside even know it even happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like building community is kind of really how you just do things, because it's something happening right now, because it's some communities right now we know nothing about, and they doing organized things right now and we don't know nothing about. It's because it's only community, like it's only they know about it. So, and I think we just got to pick that up, because I mean other cultures do it. Other cultures do it. Like they get together and they have, ways that they do things that they don't let other people in on. It's just only for them. And I think we got to establish that, and that'll be the foundation for us to move forward, because the best way to do things is to show and prove instead of talking about it. And like, it'll be less talking if we ain't have nothing to show. Like, if we weren't caring about showing people too soon, I think we'll get more.
Deal with.
My bad.
But yeah, that's the beginning of it, bro. That's what it looks like to me, like developing like a community-based communication to where we all can, brain shine and come up with ideas that we can collectively move with and do, and we'll have less interruptions from, the powers that be, because we're really like moving like we not existing.
What about the spies though? I remember hearing about like in the civil rights time, it was like spies and stuff going on.
Hey, bro, I mean, we only could, like, honestly, like I was saying, we got to play the Matrix. So I mean, like, honestly, it's gonna be some people that still playing the Matrix inside the community. Like everybody, the goal is to be out of the goal is to get out of the Matrix, but not everybody gonna get out of the Matrix at the same time. We all evolving and we all, building, and transitioning, even just learning how to get out of the Matrix, even learning how to survive independent excuse me, even learning how to thrive independently.
Right.
Like we have that's something we have to learn, because we haven't done it in so long, like thriving independently. Because like our mindset when it comes to being independent, like, well, being transparent, it sounds like survival. You see what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like survival. It don't sound like we can actually thrive in independence. It's like, okay, I'm cool with being independent, so I'm expecting to be struggling. Like, no, like, why can't our vision of independence be bountiful?
Real
Like,
talk.
so it's like we got to change our mindset of independence, because it's like, damn, we always feel like we're gonna be handicapped if we being independent. And it's like that's the mindset that shit our experiences has got us, bro. Like through the years, and see that's why we had this conversation a few months ago about because you was like, man, every time we do something, they come and bum us, and I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why they do that. They do that because they don't want you to ever start again. They trying to kill that desire in you to even try to do something. But see, that's why I said, man, the way the financial systems are changing now, we have an opportunity to be anonymous. So like that's so huge in terms of like the grand scheme of things, because now we don't necessarily have to have a brick and mortar. Like we don't have to have a business to be filed like as a LLC. Like you can start a business and you don't have to be filed because it's anonymous. Like your way of doing business is like not government regulated yet.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, the government has its own form of what we're talking about. But see, that's why we got to get in now.
Real talk. And I think another thing we gotta, do it along with getting it in, getting into it right now is to also starting in the mind, mentally relieve ourselves of the dependency on the conveniences provided by society.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times a lot of the affairs that we get into them because we holding on to certain things. You know what I mean? I got to have this. I got to have this car note because I got to have this car. I got to go. I got to go do this because I got to have these designer shoes.
No.
Shit like that, man. That really keep us locked into the system. Or even just like we were talking about earlier, man. In order for a person to really take on, there go my echo. For a person to take on, growing crops and stuff like that, like that shit take time and it takes sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be something that's gonna have to give in doing that, which I believe is something that everybody should know how to do. Like I feel like every family ought to have crops. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Or crops just be readily available. Maybe a particular family, do something else. But I do think it should be more families growing their own stuff. But see, we so locked into the convenience of going to a grocery store. That's the only way we see that we, can eat when that's totally not the case.
And see, that's why it has to take a strategy, bro. Like we
Yeah,
understand that it's gonna take time for that food to grow. So yes, we understand that. Yes, okay, yeah, we got to go to the grocery store right now.
right.
Like we got to go to the grocery store right now. Well, we need to go to the farmers market.
The
We need
farmers
to
market. That's
go
right.
to the farmers market. So we go to the farmers market right now, but we understand that that's only temporary because we building our own. So it's like we gotta all, like I said, we gotta learn how to play this thing. We can't be we know where we are and we know where we going. That's what we supposed to be doing. Like we know where we are, we know where we going. So it's like we playing this thing in order to get to where we going. So it's gonna take time to harvest. It's gonna take time to learn. It's gonna take time to get this shit right. But all while you get this shit right, meanwhile you go to the farmers market and you try your best to eat the best fruits. You try your best to eat the best things you can eat for your body. And shoot, that you only can do the best that you can.
Real
But
talk.
like we said, bro, that's what it looked like, bro. Maintaining anonymity, uh, maintaining community building, and having a structure to where we all are on the same mission. But I don't think that's impossible at all, especially with the systems that's out of today. Like I really think it's possible. I just think it just takes some minds getting together, and it's gonna take little by little. Like we got to do what we got to do for our family. So I think because it's families that we don't know about. Like we don't know everybody in this country. So I think everybody should just take personal responsibility for their families one by one, and maybe the community will grow and we'll connect. Like maybe we'll connect down the line. Maybe we'll connect with more and more people down the line. But I think that individually we have to start in our families.
Word up. Word up. And like I said, man, it take that sacrifice, man, for sure. Cause we can't live the same life and live that new life at the same time. And that's the number one thing I'm looking at, because that's what I discovered when I was talking to my homie. Because we so money motivated, you feel me?
Oh yeah.
Not goal. You know what I mean? Like, we look at the money as the goal,
Right.
not what we want to do with the money. And that's what I'm trying to shift my mind to right now, bro. Because I have been motivated for a large part of my life. And now I'm more so trying to be like, okay, I'm not gonna look at that. What is it that I would do with the money,
Right.
and set
Exactly.
my mind on that? Because
What's your
it could
intention?
come, huh?
What's your intention?
Yeah. Because the thing about it is, man, we can get blessed with things without even having to necessarily pay for
Amen.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So
For
for us
sure.
in there looking at the money gonna be able to get us what we want, we kind of limiting ourselves, because there's tons of ways for things to come into our lives.
Right, brother.
For
That's
real.
that takes us back to that self-respect thing.
Mm,
It's like people will see you and how much, like how you move, man, and they want to be around you. That type of energy, because that's growth energy.
facts.
So like you might not have money, but you got that energy of money. Like that's why we say be your own currency, because it's really valuable. Like how you move and how you think of yourself, and like it's really how you attract. Literally, it's how you attract. But it has to be sincere. It can't be like you pretending. It has to be sincere. It's not like you putting on the front, like
Hmm.
when you're going around people. Like it has to be really who you are. You have to be really walking in who you are, with that energy of like knowing who you are and loving yourself, and then knowing that you only want to put that energy out. And like that's what I'm growing into. Like I'm getting to the place where I only want to put good energy out.
Real
Like,
talk.
and I know I make mistakes, and I come short because I'm human. But for the most part, my goal is to be better at putting out and projecting my best quality energy. And that's the energy of God, the energy of light, the energy of love. And it feels so great to be in love. It feels so great to be in peace, because like I think that's the best thing. That's the thing that really attracts, because something that loves, everybody want to be around something that loves,
Hmm.
and
It's
that's why.
infectious.
Exactly. It's very infectious, and that's why I think a lot of people believe in God, even though they don't really understand him.
Hmm.
Because it's like the thought of God is that He loves everybody. Because God is love. That's one thing that I think everybody knows. Like if you ask anybody a question about God, they expect Him to love everybody.
Hmm.
So like that's why a lot of people love God or love the thought of God. It's because He has said to have love. So everybody want to be loved, bro. I think that's a natural part of us to want to be loved. So by giving off that spirit of like, man, you know what? I ain't got no hate. Like you don't feel no negative energy from this person. It ain't nothing that repels you. Like if this person is positive and you positive, there's nothing to repel you from this person.
Real
It's
talk.
only it's only when it's only when you meet someone that has another energy. And I noticed that too. Like being around a lot of people a few nights a week, I noticed that too. Like people that don't necessarily fit with my energy, I repel them.
Hmm. And that can be a challenge for some people, bro. Cause like when you different, bro, and you and a person really got a purpose out here, bro, like you really ain't gonna fit in. And
Facts.
that's just facts, bro. You are not gonna fit in, bro. I had to learn that, man.
Nah, for real.
I had to learn that. Like, cause I used to be the type of person, like, I used to be the type trying to reach out to people. You know what I mean? What's up, man? You know what I mean? Just trying to cultivate relationships using my own understanding. You feel me? Because I hear a lot of people talk about, yeah, you got to have relationships. You got to have relationships in order to get where you want to get. So I'm taking that, but not realizing that, you know, I can't be in a relationship with everybody. Like some people, a lot of people, I'm not gonna be able to deal with. It's like, yeah, we can be cordial when I see you, but as far as like a deep relationship, it can't be that because we on two different energies. We got two different purposes. I look at stuff this way, you look at stuff that way. So I totally get what you mean by that repel, bro. And I had to learn to be okay with that.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. And I mean, it be people that I ain't even had no conversation with that I repel, bro. Like
Right.
honestly, like we ain't even got to talk.
Yeah.
Like I don't repel. Like, I repel people that I ain't even heard you. I ain't even know what your voice. I don't even know what your voice sound like. Like it's
Real
just that
talk.
I just feel your energy. Like you just not my. Like we just not the same. And it's like your energy is projecting, your aura is projecting that as well. Like so, I know that like, hey, yeah, you go your way and I go my way. Like I
Mhm.
already understand how that energy is, but that comes along with, you know, being who you are. You know, that don't mean you change. That just mean you stay who you are. Like everybody is not your tribe. Everybody is not gonna be for you. And like I'm pretty sure who's for them is for them. I'm pretty sure they got partners that they click with. You know what I'm saying? But it's just me and you. Like me and them is like we just don't have the same energy, and that's okay. And but you still maintain your self respect. You still maintain love. Like that, you ain't got no negative feelings or ill will against that person that you repelled. It's just that you just don't fit with everybody.
Real talk.
Shoot, bro, I'm learning that more and more. But shoot, bro, I see that the time is near, so we're gonna go into our next segment of, what you learned. Is it anything that you tapped into, like in the course of you, changing schedules, learning, more time management, and is anything that you want to, give a pointer on?
Um, I guess one thing that I wanted to touch on is how this music, I had been diving into how music can impact us and how it can go deep as like the hurts, because a lot of the music in the old days, not the old days, but back in vinyls and around that era and maybe a little bit after, most music was produced and pushed out at 432 hertz. But for some reason, it changed to 440. But I'm discovering that 440 might not be that good for our mental health, and 432 is positive for our mental health. It's like it can make us have a good emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm looking and I'm learning about how to convert my music to that, because it seems simple, but when I do it, I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel like I'm doing 432 and it's not 432. I want it to be dead on the money. So, that's something that I'm learning right now, bro, about, converting music to 432 hertz and how, that's better for us than that, typical 440 that we deal with now.
Oh, that's hard,
Hmm.
and I'm glad to hear that because that's very good. That's very beneficial because that's a goal within your craft, bro. Because we understand um that's warfare as well. It's warfare with the frequency because that affects, like you said, the mental health. It have you feeling a certain type of way. So, kudos to you, man, for stepping up and you being in the music, being into music, and that it's being manipulated, but you standing like that's a part of standing. Like you standing and doing something that you know is right.
Real talk.
But
Appreciate
it's
it, man.
for sure, bro.
What about you
Man,
though, man?
uh, one thing, bro, that I recently uh starting to tap into is like not being a slave to my day,
To your what?
to my day.
Word.
And what I mean by not being a slave to my day is like I'm not so surprised about what's happening. because I really envisioned my day of how I wanted it to be, and I put the energy off. So I'm actually more in the flow of my day and controlling my day instead of letting my day just happen to me. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like that's how you not be a slave to your day, like by having your day be at a random. Like, and I know you can't control like what actually happens because we not actually God. You know what I'm saying? We not the creator. We're not the creator, even though we have the creator in us. We are essence of the creator, but there's a certain thing we can't control, which is, like the future. We can't control it 100%. So as far as like what you can't control what you put out. So if you want to envision, when you envision, that's a vision that you putting out from your head, from your mind. Like, okay, like if you have a vision for your day, I want to have a good day today. So if you want to have a good day today, you are putting out that energy by putting off good energy, meaning like you want to leave the house with a happy energy. You're gonna say good morning to people. You're gonna you're gonna ask people how they're doing. You're gonna put off that energy to other people, right? Because you want to have a good day. That's you actually controlling your day.
That's right.
That's what I started to learn. Like, you can't say you want to have a good day, but you putting off bad energy. Like, man, I want to have a good, like, I'm gonna have a good day today. But then the first person you see, you just got an attitude. Like, how is that gonna happen? Like, you have to actually get inside of the day that you want to have. Like, you have to be the day that you want to have. So, like, if you want to have a good day, if you want to have good energy from people, you have to actually give that energy to people. Like, you can't just think that you're gonna have a good day and then people just gonna give that energy to you without you giving it to them. Like, everything is a cause and effect. So like if you moving with good energy, you're more likely to receive that good energy in return. Because like I know everybody that you meet is not gonna have that good energy. That's what we just talked about. Like, some people you're gonna repel. Not everybody's gonna have that same energy, but for the most part, by you putting that out, so some way or another, bro. I don't know how it happens, but God just have his way of sending people your way that'll enter your path because you're on that frequency. Like, you can't really control who comes into your path, but by having that energy, you're more likely to attract somebody that has that same frequency.
Real talk. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. It all started in the mind, man. That's something I was talking about last night. Everything started in our mind. That's why I try to do my affirmations, man, to try to set a good intention on myself. Because I know it's easy for me to forget, and fall back into my other ways. So that's why I set reminders in my phone to read my affirmations or pray or just praise. That's what I got in my phone. I got a reminder for praising, a reminder for praying, reminder for affirmation that go out at different points in the day, just so I can keep that with me to where it's just like second nature. You know what I mean? And it's working. You know what I'm saying? It's really working.
Shoot, I believe that, bro. I believe that. That's a good habit to have.
Mm-hmm.
But going on into our next segment, which is the financial theme of the month, and we all know it's still February, and it has been making sound decisions, sound financial decisions. Like, you need to continue on the goals that you have, no matter how small they are, but make sure they're sound. And like, don't be afraid to get advice from somebody that got sound advice as well. When I say sound advice, that means like you have some type of wisdom. Like, it's sound, meaning like it actually works. It's not just jibber jabber.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very knowledgeable. So with that being said, uh set a goal. Set a goal, stick to it, make sure the decision is sound. And anything else you would like to add, King Victor?
Oh, that's it, bro.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in to another conversation. This is conversation number 54. Um, we thank you guys for being with us for this long, and thank you guys for tapping in. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best,
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
and we out.
Peace.
Are Are you stressed, anxious, or depressed? Well, here's some good news for you. We started a mental health movement called MH10, and we encourage people to pay more attention to their mental health. So do this for us. Take at least 10 minutes per day to take a walk in nature, a jog, run, or just meditation to decrease your stress, because stress is one of the leading causes of chronic physical and mental illnesses in the body. So if you want to join the movement, you can also post on social media, post your 10 minutes by using hashtag MH10 or mental health 10 minutes.